I didn't mean to go yard selling today, but I did. I didn't mean to go into the yard sales today, but I just needed to go out and do some errands. Saw one sign. That's all it took. One is too many. And I pulled in. Didn't really find anything. So I was like, oh well. Then I started thinking, man, I wonder if there's any more sales today. Pulled up the yard sale treasure map, and I found one other sale that day that was listed on the yard sale map, and it was way out in the rural part of town. It was way out in the rural part of town, again, out of the populated area, out where there's not that many houses. When there are houses, they're spaced far apart, a lot of farmland, things like that. With yard sales in those rural, unpopulated areas is that there's not that many of them. So you don't get to hit one after another, and see a bunch of items. The positive is, for me at least, when I hit the less populated areas and I find those one or two yard sales, they usually have a lot of good stuff. And I think there's a lot of good stuff there because people don't like to travel that far out of the populated areas. They like to stay in the populated areas, do all their yard sales and things like that. They like to stay in the more populated areas so they can go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 200 yard sales in a short amount of time. And for me, some of the best profitable items that I have found were in the rural parts of towns where, again, I went kind of not late in the day, but not early in the morning. And I know there's still a lot of good stuff there for, yard sale prices. One of the more recent ones in this video was I found a big, huge tub of G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, all kinds of stuff like that. And I paid $30 for this big full bin of all of these old vintage toys. Again, G.I. Joe's, Transformers, some Star Wars stuff. And within the first two sales of that stuff, I was already in the profit. It was in a rural area, and again, not a lot of people around. And the lady said, I've been trying to sell this bin for $50 all day and haven't been able to, nobody wants it. And she said, I'll give it to you for $30. I would have gladly paid her $50 for it, but she said $30, and I took it. And that buy has just been turning money over and over and over and over. I only went to one other yard sale besides the first one, which is a more rural one. And here's some of the items that I found at this. Please excuse the dirty car, but I'm going to show you some of the stuff I found. I found this, what's that, Trans 8? I've never heard of this before, but I did not pay $12 for it. I paid like $3 for it, but it looks like it's still like sealed in the box. And I don't know, it might be some store brand toy or something like that, but it's still sealed in the box. So hopefully I can find some comps for it, put it on the screen for you. I know it's older and vintage because it doesn't have any barcodes on it. A lot of times that is a good sign that something is a little bit older when it doesn't have barcodes on it. So this, I don't know if it has any value. The only reason I picked it up, it was cheap, but as you can see, it's also numbered. It does have an artist's signature on it. So I don't really know much about art, but I just know this is some type of numbered print. So I'm gonna look it up, and it's just kind of cool. Follows a sports theme, so maybe somebody would like it in their man cave or something like that. A little Detroit Pistons Ticketmaster seat cushion, kind of more vintagey logo. I'm not sure how old it is, but paid like 50 cents for that. This is the Princess Di Bear. I don't know if this is the right one or not, but for 50 cents it couldn't go wrong with it. I'll have to look up and see, because I know one of the Princess Di ones is worth tons of money, but I'm not sure if this one is. I'm sure somebody can already tell me down in the comments that nope, that's just a repop or whatever it is. But again, still got the tag on it. I'm not sure if it's the right one, but 50 cents. I'll figure something out to do with it. I hit a bunch of airline playing cards once and sold them for a pretty good amount. So I found these from the Golden Nugget Casino in Las Vegas. So again, paid actually $1 for these two and another one. This one, the Iraqi's Most Wanted. These ones have the pictures of some of the most wanted people from the Desert Storm conflict on the cards. So I paid $1 for both of those, or all three decks of cards. This Porsche dial-up telephone I thought was cool. However, after I looked it up, they're not all that, don't have very good comps. But again, somebody may want to buy it for, paid $1 for it, so $10 maybe. Don't know if it works. I don't even know if I have a phone service to see if it works. These Merlin games can be pretty good lick if they work. So I got to get batteries in it, test it out, see if it works. Bought this whole box of patterns with yarn, different sewing patterns and things like that. Paid $5 for the entire box. I've always done really well with these. The last thing is I got these I think that's 87 Superman cards. I think they're 87. Yeah, because this one has a year on it down here at the bottom. But the ones I see don't have the red borders. And these have like in some type of pack, and they got 2 or 3 cards in there. I think these might have been from a vending machine. Like you put, a quarter in it, slide the slide in, and comes out or wrapped in that cardboard envelope. I think that's what these are. But I paid $5 for the 2 boxes, and they're kind of full. But again, the only ones I saw had white borders, not the red borders, and so I'm not really sure of the value of these. So I'm gonna have to do a little more research on those. But again, these boxes are both full, and they have like a little tab here so it can fold out. So that's what I'm thinking, that there's some type of vending machine cards. The moral of the video is, don't be afraid to drive farther out. Don't be afraid to go out into the less populated areas and to the yard sales out there. Yes, it takes some time to drive out there, but again, you're have a high probability of finding items that are just going to have been sitting there all day because people don't want to go out to those areas of towns and they want to stay in town for yard sales. If you enjoyed this short video on the stuff that I found today, and get out there, get out to those less populated areas, look for some of this great stuff that you could find. Put down in the comments there if you've been out and found some really good stuff in those less populated areas. Tell me what type of stuff you found way out there off the beaten path yard sales. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.